Welcome to PHP tutorials. Introduction. PHP is a free, highly popular, open source scripting language. PHP scripts are executed on the server, so PHP is a server-side programming language. It is capable of generating dynamic page content, controlling user access, encrypting data, and creating, operating, reading, writing, deleting, and closing files on the server. PHP has enough power to work on WordPress, the busiest blogging system on the web. It also has the degree of depth required to run Facebook, the web's largest social network. Now question arises, why PHP? Because PHP runs numerous varying platforms including Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac, etc. It is compatible with almost any modern server such as Apache, IIS and more. It supports wide range of database and is free. Now comes PHP tag. PHP statement ends with semicolon. PHP syntax. Alternatively, we can include PHP in the script tag. The latest version of PHP removes support for script language tags, such as as such it's recommended using official standard of PHP. You can also use shorthand PHP tags as long as they are supported by the server. Echo function. PHP has a built-in echo function which is used to output the text. Actually, it's not a function, it's a language construct. As such, it does not require parentheses. The text should be in a single or double quotation. HTML markup can be added to the text in the echo statement. These are the syntax for comments. PHP variables. Variables are used as a containers in which we store information. A PHP variable starts with a $sign which is followed by the name of the variable. Rules for PHP variables. A variable name starts with the letter or underscore. It cannot start with number. It can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores. Variable names are case sensitive. Now comes PHP constant. Constants are similar to variables except that they cannot be changed or undefined after they have been defined, being the name of your constant with a letter or an underscore. Begin the name of your constant with a letter or an underscore. To create a constant, use the define function. Define function has following parameters. Name specifies the name of the constant, value specifies the value of the constant, and case sensitive, which specifies whether the constant name should be case sensitive or not, and by default it is not case sensitive. Example below creates a constant with the case sensitive name. And the example below creates a constant with case insensitive name. PHP data types. Variables can store variety of data types. Data types supported by PHP are string, integer, float, boolean, array, object, null, resource. PHP strings. A string is a sequence of characters like hello world. A string can be any text within a set of single or double quotes, as shown below. You can join two strings together by using concatenation operator. Example, echo $s1 dot $s2. PHP integer. An integer is a whole number without decimals that must fit in the following criteria. That is, it cannot contain commas or blanks. It must not have a decimal point. It can be either positive or negative. Example: int1 is initialized by positive integer, that is 42, and int2 is initialized with a negative integer, that is minus 42. Most of the data types can be used in combination with one another. In this example, string and integer are put together to determine the sum of the two numbers. Here, variable string is declared as 10 and variable int, and the sum is printed by using echo function, so the output results into 30. PHP automatically converts each variable to its correct data type according to its value. This is why the variable string is treated as a number in the addition. Now comes PHP float. Float or floating point number is a number that includes a decimal point. PHP boolean. Boolean represents two possible states, true or false. Booleans are also used in conditional testing. Variable scope. PHP variables can be declared anywhere in the script. The scope of the variable is the part of the script in which the variables can be referenced or used. Most used variable scopes are local or global. Variable declared outside a function has a global scope, and the variables declared within a function has a local scope and can be accessed within that function. The script will produce an error as the variable name has a global scope and is not accessible within the getName function. The global keyword. The global keyword is used to access a global variable from within a function. To do this, use global, the global keyword within the function, prior to the variables. Now comes variables. With PHP, you can use one variable to specify other variable's name. So, a variables treat the value of another variable as its name, as shown below. Variable A is assigned as hello, and variable hello is assigned as he, and echo, that is printed. The printed function is $of $a, which results into he. Note, $of $a is a variable that is using the value of another variable $a as its name. The value of $a is equal to hello. The resulting variable is $hello, which holds the value he. PHP operators. Operators carry out operations on variables and values. For example, 2 plus 3 equals to 5. So here 2, 3, 5 are operand and plus and equal to are operators. Now comes arithmetic operators, which has addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. Modulus operator returns the remainder of the division by second operator. Here variable x is assigned as 14 and y is assigned as 3. So when x modulus y is calculated, the result is 2. If you are using floating point number with the modulus operator, then it converts floating point number into an integer. For example shown below. Now comes increment and decrement operators. Increment operators are used to increment a variable's value, and decrement operator is used to decrement the variable's value. Here $x plus plus is equivalent to $x equals to $x plus 1, and $x minus minus is equivalent to $x equals to $x minus 1. These operators either proceed or follow a variable. $x plus plus is equivalent to $x equals to $x plus 1 and $x minus minus equals to $x equals to $x minus 1. These operators either proceed or follow a variable. So $x plus plus is post increment and $x minus minus is known as post decrement. Plus plus $x is known as pre-increment and minus minus $x is known as pre-decrement. Post-increment returns the original value before it changes the variable, while the pre-increment changes the variable first and then returns the value. For example, $a equals to 2 and $b equals to $a plus plus. So here output will be $a is 3 and $b is 2. Similarly, when $a is 2 and $b is plus plus $a, then $a results into 2 and $b is 3 only. Assignment operator. This operator is used to write the values to variables. Here, variable num1 is assigned as 5, num2 as num1. So here both num1 and num2 variable contains value of 5. Assignments can also be used in conjunction with arithmetic operators. For example, $x equals to 50 and $x plus equals to 100 and then echo $x. It results into 150 because when $x plus equals to 100, it means $x equals to $x equals to $x plus 100. So $x is 50 and then $x becomes 50 plus 100 and echo is used for printing operations. So $x results into 150. Now comes comparison operator. It compares two values, numbers or strings. These are used inside conditional statements and evaluate to either true or false. Here equals to like that is double equals to returns true if $x is equal to $y and triple equals to is known as identical. Triple equals to is known as identical. It returns true if $x is equal to $y and both are of same data type. Exclamation equals to known as not equal to. It returns true if $x is not equal to $y. Angular brackets here represents not equal. It returns true if $x is not equal to $y. And exclamation equals to is known as not identical. It returns true if $x is not equal to $y and both are of different data types. Additional comparison operators are greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to. Now comes conditional statement. It is used to combine conditional statements. Conditional statements can combine other conditional statements like and, or, XOR, logical and, logical or, not, etc. And is true. And operator like $x and $y is true if both $x and $y are true, or when $x or $y is computed, the result is true if one of them is true. When it comes to XOR operator, $x XOR $y, it is true if either one is true but not both of them. Logical and $x and logical and $x logical $y is true if both are true. Logical or $x or and logical or $x logical $y is true if one is true. Not. It is true if X is not true. Now comes PHP arrays. An array is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. If you have a list of items, say a list of names for example, then storing them in a single variables would look like like $name1 equals to Jaya, $name2 equals to Pihu. Then if you want 100 names on your list, the solution is create an array. Numeric array. Numeric or indexed arrays associate a numeric index with your values. The index can be assigned automatically. That is, index always starts at 0, like $names equals to array Jaya Pihu. The numeric or indexed, alternatively, it can be written as $names 0, that is index position, is equals to Jaya, then $names index position 1 is Pihu, then echo name 1, the output will be Pihu. You can have integers, strings and other data types together in an array. You can have integers, strings and other data types together in an array. Example, array is here my array, and at its 0th position value is Jaya. At its first index position, here we have included strong, that is which is HTML tag, and it is on first position of my array it is PHP. At second index of my array it is 20, and echo statement is run, which results an output as Jaya is 20 and knows PHP. Associative array. These arrays use named keys that you assign to them. There are two ways to create an associative array. That is, create an array named people having following parameters, or make an array like this. Use the named keys to access the array's members. Multidimensional array. It contains two or more arrays. The dimension of array indicates the number of indices you would need to select an element. For two-dimensional array, you need 2 indices to select an element. For three-dimensional array, you need 3 indices to select an element. Now the two-dimensional array has been created, and array people contains 3 arrays and it has 2 indices, that is row and column, as shown here. To access the elements of the array people, we must point to the 2 indices, that is echo people online at 0th position, which is an indices, which results in the output Jaya. The arrays in multidimensional can be both numeric or associative. Now comes control structure. First control structure is if. It performs different actions for different decisions. Its syntax is if condition, code to be executed if condition is true, else code to be executed if condition is false. For example, here $x is assigned as 10, $y is assigned as 15. That is, variable x is assigned as 10, variable y is 15. Then condition is applied, that is, if variable x is greater than variable y, then print variable x, else print variable y. So according to the values given to x and y, the output is 15. The else if statement, that is the second conditional statement. If condition, then code to be executed if condition is true, else if condition, code to be executed if condition is true, then else statement, then else, and code to be executed if condition is false. For example, age declared is 22, and condition if age is greater than or equals to 13, print child, else if age is greater than 13 and age is less than 19, then print teenager, else print adult. And here, according to the age given 22, the output is adult. Always remember, else if statement must begin with if statement, not with else statement. Now comes loops. First is while loop. The while loop executes a block of code as the specified condition is true. Syntax. While condition is true, code to be executed. Example, variable I is assigned as 1. Then run while loop, that is condition of while is I less than 7. Then print the value of I and break. Then increment the value of I. So output is the value is 1 till the value is 6. The example above first sets a variable I to 1 and then while loop runs as I is less than 7. And then while loop runs as I is less than 7. So, and then I will increase by 1 each time the loop runs because of post increment operator applied on I. Now comes do while loop. The do while loop always executes the block of code once, check the condition and repeat as long as the specified condition is true. Syntax. Do code to be executed while condition is true. Example. Here the value of variable I is assigned to 5. Then do loop, echo the number is I, then break and increment the I. Then comes while condition where I is less than 7. So here output is the number is 5 because it was assigned as 5 in the above statement. Then then print statement, the number is I, so the number is printed as 5. Then I is incremented, so the number becomes 6. And then condition is while I is less than 7, so it again runs and the output is number is 7. For loop. The for loop is used when you know in advance how many times the script should run. Syntax is for, init, then test, then increment, and then code to be executed. Like for loop has the following parameters. Init, it initializes the loop counter value. Then test, it evaluates each time the loop is iterated, continuing if evaluates to true and ending if it evaluates to false. And then increment, increases the loop counter value. Even you can have here decrement, it will decrease the loop counter value. Switch statement, it is an alternative to the if else statement. A syntax is switch n, then like how many times you want to run the switch statement. Then case value 1, then case value 2. It has several cases and you can label the cases. Then code to be executed is written under the cases, and break statement or the continue statement is applied, and the default value is and also there is a default where code to be executed runs if n is different from all labels. Failing to specify the break statement causes PHP to continue to execute the statements that follow the case until it finds a break. You can use this behavior if you need to arrive at the same output for more than one case. Here, break statements ends the current for each, while, do while or switch and continues to run the program on the line coming up after the loop. It's very important to note that a break statement in the outer part of the program, which is not in a control loop, will stop the script. Now see to continue statement. When used within a looping structure, the continue statement allows for skipping over what remains of the current loop iteration. Continue statements are used with all kinds of looping structures. Next part is explained in PHP part 2.